Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Respectfully greetings to Venerable Sangha, dear lay Buddhists and all Dhamma friends near and far. Welcome to this week's Buddhist news from Kamau Province, brought to you by the Kamau Buddhist Information and Communication Committee. In today's program, we will share with you inspiring stories of Dhamma practice, compassionate service and community development from temples across the province. Phước Bổ Temple presents 100 gift sets to disadvantaged students during the Vu Lan season. Vạn Phước Temple inaugurates rural bridges, hand over compassion houses and offer gifts to students in remote areas. The 13-year retreats nurturing the seeds of the future take place at Vạn Phước Temple. Long Phước Temple hosts a Dhamma talk on daily practice methods for lay Buddhists. Giác Hoa Temple holds the 24th Youth Retreat Seeds of Compassion. Cotton Temple concludes Khmer Supplementary Education Program and recent study encouragement gifts. Giác Viên Temple organized a 2-day summer retreat connecting with love. Bhutan Temple solemnly commemorates Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Vĩnh Quế Temple hosts a day of peace retreat. Groundbreaking ceremony held for rural bridge construction in Yarai War. Appointment ceremony for Venerable Ngọc Tâm as abbot of Hưng Phước Temple. First, on the afternoon of August 8, 2025, Phước Bủ Temple in Châu Thới Commune under guidance of Venerable Trung Thuận offered 100 gift sets to students from disadvantaged families in commemoration of Vu Lan Festival. It says funded by devoted lay Buddhists included notebooks and school supplies, encouraging the children to excel in their study and upon filial piety.
On the afternoon of August 8, 2025, at Phước Bủ Temple, Châu Thới Commune, Venerable Trung Thuận organized the presentation of 100 gift sets to students and children of Buddhist families in difficult circumstances in Trung Hưng 1B and Mỹ Trinh hamlets, in commemoration of the Vu Lan Filial Piety Festival. Each gift set, consisting of notebooks and school supplies, was valued at a total of over 10 million Vietnamese dong, sponsored by the lay devotees of Phước Bủ Temple. The ceremony was attended by Miss Đặng Thị Thảo, Secretary of the Party South of Trung Hưng 1B Hamlet. In his Dharma address, Venerable Trung Thuận encouraged the children to always remember the kindness of their parents during the Vu Lan season, to strive diligently in their studies, to be filial and exemplary, and to grow into individuals who can contribute positively to society.
Next, on August 9th, Vạn Phước Temple in Nguyễn Việt Khái Commune, led by Bhikkhuni Thích Nữ Diệu Minh, handed over newly built bridges and compassionate houses and recenters, bicycle, notebook, and car gifts to rural students. The project improves transport, provides safe shelter, and inspires hope for families in need.
On the morning of August 9, 2025, Bhikkhuni Thích Nữ Diệu Minh, abbess of Vạn Phước Temple, Nguyễn Việt Khái Commune, led a delegation and lay Buddhists and benefactors to hand over 3 newly built bridges and 5 compassion houses in Nguyễn Việt Khái and Cái Đôi Vàm communes. The event was attended by Mr. Đào Văn Tính, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Commune Party Committee, Mr. Huỳnh Phương Nhanh, Vice Chairman of the Nguyễn Việt Khái Commune People's Committee, and local government representatives. In Nguyễn Việt Khái Commune, the delegation inaugurated 2 bridges and broke ground for another. Lung Nhỏ Bridge, 3 meter by 42 meter, Tân Nghĩa Hamlet, costing 546 million Vietnamese dong, sponsored by the North Central South Infrastructure Connection Community. Bridge linking Tân Nghĩa and Lê Nam Hamlets, 3 meter by 53 meters, funded with 639 million Vietnamese dong by the family of Mr. Trịnh Văn Lâm, Cà Mau. Bridge under construction, 3 meters by 35 meters, funded with 435 million Vietnamese dong by the family of Mr. Nguyễn Trung Hiếu, Cà Mau. These new bridges will improve local transportation, facilities students commute to school, promote trade, and enhance economic life. On this occasion, the delegation also presented 10 bicycles and 500 notebooks to 42 students to mark the new school year. The same day, the delegation handed over 5 compassion houses. In Cái Đồi Vàm Camin, 3 houses for Mrs. Phạm Thị Hương, 1959, and Mrs. Kiều Thị Tây, 1966, both from Hamlet 4, and Mrs. Diệp Tú Nhi, 1982, from Hamlet 3. In Nguyễn Vị Khai Camin, 1 house for Mr. Lê Văn Vũ, 1975, from Lê Nam Hamlet. The total cost of these 4 houses was 200 million Vietnamese dong, funded by the Làng Ta Charity Fund. In addition, a dream house valued at 50 million Vietnamese dong was presented to Mr. Đỗ Văn Minh, 1992, from Nguyễn Vị Khai Camin, funded by the North Central South Infrastructure Connection Community, together with 4 million Vietnamese dong in cash raised from the Piggy Bank Savings Campaign by the Hooray Ethnic community and generous benefactors. These meaningful projects and practical gifts not only provide secure housing but also inspire confidence and determination for families to overcome poverty and work toward a brighter future.
Same day, Vạn Phước Temple also hosted the 13-year retreat, nurturing the seeds of the future, drawing over 500 participants for sutra copying, dharma sharing, and wholesome recreational activities.
On the afternoon of August 9, 2025, Vạn Phước Temple Nguyễn Vị Khái Camille, under the guidance of Bhikkhuni Thích Nữ Diệu Minh, abbess of the temple, solemnly organized the 13-year retreat theme, nurturing the seeds of the future, attracting over 500 participants. The retreat began with collective chanting of the Buddha's name, offering flowers to the Chibocham, and expressing reverence and gratitude. Participants then copy the Medicine Buddha Sutra and learn about the compassionate vows of the 7 Medicine Buddhas, enlightened Tathagatas who dispel illness, alleviate suffering, and bring peace to all beings. Lay devotee Nguyễn Kim Anh shared the story The Pencil, which conveyed the lesson that all phenomena arise from the mind. Every thought, word, and deed is a seed, and wholesome results come from planting wholesome seeds here and now through diligent study, readiness to help others, and loving kindness toward parents, teachers, and friends. The retreat's joyful atmosphere was further enriched by sculpting activities, quizzes, and interactive games, with prizes awarded by the organizing committee. The program concluded in an atmosphere of happiness, leaving the youth inspired to continue cultivating wholesome seeds in their daily lives.
On August 10th, Long Phước Temple welcomed Venerable Thích Phước Thuận for a Dharma talk on daily practice methods for lay Buddhists, guiding devotees to integrate mindfulness, compassion, and detachment into their daily lives.
On the morning of August 10, 2025, during the 272nd A Day of Peace retreat at Long Phước Temple, Vĩnh Trạch Ward, Venerable Thích Phước Thuận, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Executive Board and Abbot of Long Phước Temple, Long Điền Camin, delivered a Dharma talk on daily practice methods for lay Buddhists. The Venerable guided lay practitioners to engage in daily recitation, Buddha mindfulness, and mindful working to cultivate inner peace, become devout Buddhists, and practice in accordance with the Buddha teaching. In daily life, one should contemplate impermanence, recognize the transient nature of all feelings, and return to the recitation of Buddha's name to maintain mental stillness and live fully in the present moment. Gradually, letting go of attachments brings peace, nurturing compassion brings lightness and serenity, and freedom from fear of death or attachment to wealth, fame, and relationships prevents suffering and the cycle of rebirth. Practitioners should live mindfully, relinquish craving, and abide in peace wherever they are. That same morning, the Quang Vũ Temple delegation, Ho Chi Minh City, led by Venerable Thích Phước Hậu, a former monk student of the Bạc Liêu Buddhist Intermediate School, offered alms to support the residents Sangha during the rains retreat at Long Phước Temple. In his closing remarks, Most Venerable Thích, abbot of Longphước Temple and chief preceptor of the retreat, praised the delegation's devotion to the Dhamma and respect for the Sangha, and encouraged retreatants to use the retreat period to refine their virtue, diligently cultivate and strengthen their character and knowledge for the propagation of the Dhamma.
That morning, Hoặc Temple held the 24th Youth Retreat, Seeds of Compassion, where over 800 young people practiced meditation, recited sutra, and enjoyed joyful games that nurture team spirit and understanding.
On the morning of August 10, 2025, at Giác Temple, Châu Thế Khmer, Bhikkhuni Thích Nghiêm Thành, abbess of the temple, solemnly organized the 24-year retreat team, Seeds of Compassion, attracting over 800 young participants. The retreat began with the abbess personally guiding the youth in ascetic meditation with mindfulness, helping them to calm their minds while in the present moment and prepare for a day of wholesome practice. Participants then recited the Medicine Buddha Sutra, praying for physical and mental well-being, the removal of illness, the cultivation of compassion, and steadfastness on the path of practice. The retreat concluded with cheerful games that brought joy and laughter, while fostering team spirit, strengthening bonds, and deepening mutual understanding among the participants.
In the afternoon, Cordon Temple concluded its Khmer supplementary education program for the 2025-2026 school year, awarding scholarships, bicycle, and school supplies to support education among ethnic Khmer students.
On the afternoon of August 10, 2025, at Custom Temple, Vĩnh Phước Khmer, Venerable Thạch Dương Trung, abbot of the temple, presided over the closing ceremony and announced the result of the Khmer Supplementary Education Program for the 2025-2026 academic year. The ceremony was attended by Chư Tôn Đức, teachers, and approximately 150 students, including ethnic Khmer pupils and older learners with a strong dedication to study. The event revealed the learning journey, commended outstanding individuals, and encouraged the spirit of learning within the community. On this occasion, the temple awarded valuable and practical prizes. Class 1, first prize, a trip to Hanoi for the Katina Festival. Second prize, 700,000 Vietnamese dong. Third prize, 500,000 Vietnamese dong. Fourth prize, 50,000 Vietnamese dong. Classes 2 and 3, first prize, 1,200,000 Vietnamese dong. Second prize, 1 million Vietnamese dong. Third prize, 800,000 Vietnamese dong. Encouragement prize, 300,000 Vietnamese dong. All remaining students, 100,000 Vietnamese dong each. All students also received confectionery, 10 notebooks, and 2 pens. 2 exemplary older students each received 500,000 Vietnamese dong. 10 teachers were offered 500,000 Vietnamese dong each in appreciation for their service. Additionally, Ms. Bảo Group, Ho Chi Minh City, donated 10 bicycles and school supplies worth 12.9 million Vietnamese dong to disadvantaged students. The total budget for awards and study support was approximately 60 million Vietnamese dong, reflecting Custom Temple's compassion and benefactors' commitment to education in the Khmer community.
On August 11th, Yak Vinh Temple opened a 2-day summer retreat, connecting with love, blending Dharma study, force games, and campfire nights of life-inspiring stories.
On the morning of August 11, 2025, at Giác Viên Temple, Lang Chong Ward, Bhikkhuni Thích Như, abbess of the temple, opened the 2-day summer retreat, connecting with love, drawing many young retreatants to the temple to learn the Dharma. In the tranquil atmosphere, participants joined in the Dharma Room Challenge to review and strengthen their understanding of Buddhist teachings, cultivate mindfulness, and show seeds of compassion. Interspersed were traditional folk games, fostering wholesome joy, teamwork, and collaboration skills. Under the guidance of Chư Tôn Đức, the Assembly recited the Universal Door chapter, paid homage to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and connected deeply with the compassionate energy of the Chibuchem. The retreat concludes with the miracle amid suffering, campfire night, where life and Dharma stories shared by Chư Tôn Đức inspire faith, courage, and the spiritual resources to face life's adversities with mindfulness and compassion.
That afternoon, Bhutan Temple solemnly marks the commemoration day of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva with chanting, prostration, and a light release ceremony, praying for peace and compassion in the world.
On the afternoon of August 11, 2025, lunar eve of June 18, Bhutan Temple, Benthan Kamin, solemnly held a ceremony to recite the Universal Door chapter and perform prostrations to the 12 great vows of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The ceremony was attended by Chư Tôn Đức and many lay Buddhists from near and far. In the serene atmospheres, Venerable Pháp Chánh and Chư Tôn Đức led the assembly in incense offering homage to the Triple Champ and chanting the Universal Door chapter, extolling the Bodhisattva's boundless compassion in relieving suffering and praying for world peace, the happiness of all beings, and the increase of compassion and wisdom. On this occasion, the Sangha and devotees released 10 kilograms of fish, dedicating merit so that all beings may be free from suffering, live in peace, and form virtuous connections on the path of cultivation. This is a regular activity of the temple on the 18th day of each lunar month, aimed at nurturing compassion and encouraging the protection of life and love for all beings.
Also on August 11, Vĩnh Quế Temple held a day of peace retreat featuring Amitabha chanting, mindful walking, and a Dhamma talk on cultivating mindfulness and wisdom in all states of awareness.
On the afternoon of August 11, 2025, at Vĩnh Quế Temple, Láng Chong World, Bhikkhuni Thích Nữ Diệu Trang, abbess of the temple, organized A Day of Peace retreat attended by a large number of lay Buddhists. The retreat opened with collective chanting of Amitabha Buddha's name and mindful circumambulation under the guidance of Chư Tôn Đức. It was followed by a Dharma talk from Venerable Thích Phước Hạnh, Vice Chairman and Chief Secretary of the Provincial Executive Board, who emphasized that to succeed on the path of practice, one must understand and master the method being cultivated, contemplate impermanence non-self and dependent origination, and recognize that meditation is awakening, mastery of the mind, and freedom from the influence of delusive thoughts, allowing mindfulness to be present in all state of awareness. The retreat concludes joyfully and peacefully, helping practitioners nourish mindfulness, strengthen faith, and diligently advance on the path to liberation.
On August 12th, the Provincial Buddhist Social Charity Committee broke ground for a new rural bridge in Yarai Ward, replacing an unsafe old structure ensuring safe and convenient travel for residents.
On the morning of August 12, 2025, the Bạc Liêu Provincial Buddhist Social Charity Committee, led by Ms. Nguyễn Kim Ly, chairwoman, in cooperation with local authorities, held the groundbreaking ceremony for a rural bridge in Hamlet 20, Zarai Ward. The old bridge, 26 meters long and 1.2 meters wide, had deteriorated, causing difficulties for daily travel. The new bridge will be 26 meters long and 2 meters wide, with a total cost partly raised locally 30 million Vietnamese dong, and the remainder sponsored by Mr. Phạm Công Lập"'s family, District 7, Ho Chi Minh City. This project not only connects the two banks physically, but also links compassionate hearts, spreads kindness, and nurtures faith in the goodness present in society.
That same day, the Executive Board of the Cà Mau Province VBS solemnly appointed Venerable Ngọc Tâm, abbot of Hưng Phước Temple. In his vows, the new abbot pledged to serve both the Dharma and nation with steadfast dedication.
On the morning of August 3, 2025, the Executive Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha of Cà Mau Province solemnly held a ceremony to announce the appointment of Venerable Ngọc Tâm as Abbot of Hưng Phước Temple, Vĩnh Thanh Khmer. Attending and certifying the ceremony were Venerable Giác Nghi, standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial Executive Board, along with members of the Provincial Sangha. From the local authorities, Mr. Lê Hoàng Ân, Vice Chairman of the Vĩnh Thanh Khmer People's Committee, and other leaders were also present. At the ceremony, Venerable Phước Thuận, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Executive Board, read the appointment decision, which was then formally presented to Venerable Ngọc Tâm by Venerable Quảng Thới, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Executive Board. In his vow of commitment, the newly appointed Abbot pledged steadfast dedication to serving the Dharma and the nation, reserving the sanctity of the Triple Gem, guiding lay Buddhists in practicing the Dharma correctly, and abiding by both the principle of the Sangha and the laws of the state. In his Dharma address, Venerable Giác Nghi commended the new abbot's resolve to return to his hometown to shoulder Buddhist affairs, contribute to building a dignified and well-maintained monastery, and create a wholesome environment for practice. He also expressed gratitude to the local government for its concern and support for the province's Buddhist activities. The ceremony concluded in a joyful atmosphere, with chư Tôn Đức and lay Buddhists offering congratulatory gifts to Venerable Ngọc Tâm.
Dear Venerable lay Buddhists and friends in the Dharma, the stories you have just heard reflect the spirit of compassion, wisdom, and dedication that continue to flourish within Buddhist community of Cà Mau Province. On behalf of the Cà Mau Buddhist Information and Communication Committee, we respectfully extend our blessing for peace, joy, and steadfast practice on the path of liberation. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to sharing more Buddhist news with you in our next program. Nam Mô Buddhaya.